SummerSlam is now in the books. With this being WWE's first two-night edition of this storied event, there were glaring trials and tribulations across both nights. Did they deliver? Yes and no. I'm not going to go over the entire card, but I will talk about some things from nights 1 and 2, good or bad, then give my overall opinion on the format and the show in its entirety. Sami Zayn vs. Karrion Kross stood out for me, but for the wrong reasons. This wasn't a spectacle or anything like that, a good match nonetheless. The winner of it, however, I don't get it. I know most people are going to say Zayn has plans to dethrone Rollins to stop the takeover and win his first world championship, so him winning builds his momentum. While that is fine and dandy, what about the effort, the energy, the time put into developing a story with Kross and Zayn, generated partially by the responses Kross received from fans, even buying his merch in droves? Sami losing this match to me would have changed nothing for him. Winning this match would have done everything for Karrion. Before anyone considers this a hateful statement, I like Sami Zayn. I just think WWE has an issue with building people up simultaneously in situations that both parties would benefit from a different decision. Whether you like Kross or not is on you as a viewer. I find it ironic that most people quote a promo Adam Cole cut to why they look at Kross differently. But if fans were to say Kross working his way back to get on the card was through a promo, it's brainwashing others to like him apparently. Well, let me move on because I could go on for days on that.
Man, I'm stressed out!
Stratton and Cargill was short but not bad. Stratton has seemingly beat everyone at the current moment. Hopefully a draft or something happens because she is going to desperately need new opponents or even a heel turn honestly. Jade, even though she lost, is kind of similar as both women I think work better as heels, while also maybe needing new opponents to bring something out of them. A reshuffling of the women's divisions are needed because Raw towers over SmackDown in that area right now. Punk and Gunther was decent in my opinion. I get Gunther being overconfident, falling into the same trap that usually follows the matches he loses. Seeing his own blood being the more decisive reason he lost was kind of meh in theory. Punk gets his moment, he's emotional in the ring, until Seth arrives, selling a knee injury only to admit it was all a ruse, and stealing the moment from his biggest op. Was it a bit predictable? Yes. Did the injury angle add some more intrigue? A little bit. Obviously the end goal was Rollins cashing in on Punk. How you get there is what separates it from being bland or exciting. I think they made it work. Night 2 was alright. My main gripe even with night 1 was the crowd just being too selective about giving reactions to specific matches and wrestlers. I get having favorites, but the dip in crowd noise from Naomi versus Ripley versus Io, solid opener by the way, to a literal 6-pack TLC match should not be that massive, especially for what they put out. Speaking of the TLC match, while it was a very high impact match filled with moments, Candice LeRae taking a ladder bump was awesome. Also, Ciampa pulling himself up to avoid a spear while hanging from the belts was absolutely insane. I still have the ladder match on the post-Mania SmackDown over this by a slight margin. Sometimes having all those moving parts on paper can sound good. Once you're watching it, you realize it's a cluster. There are good clusters, not in this case though. Lyra Valkyria, even though she got screwed by Bayley, proved why she's a future world champion on the main roster whenever they decide to do it. A few flubs were there, but overall every match Lyra has had this year has been a solid to banger quality match to me. I said in the past the only reason I would keep Lyra out of the women's IC title picture is if they move her up to the main event ranks. I think that might be the plan as of now. Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles paying tribute to Eddie Guerrero in this match was cool to see. From Styles' entrance in gear, the chair spot, the finish being a modified version of the boot spot Eddie did against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 20 was the icing on the cake. If this is Styles' last SummerSlam, I'm glad he did it putting over a new star in Dom, while looking like he had fun doing it in the build-up and the match itself. Now the main event. I thought Cena was gonna pull it in and sacrifice the turn. I was completely wrong. Rhodes and Cena had a crazy battle. The amount of damage they inflicted on each other from start to finish, I wouldn't be surprised if you had this as your match of the year for WWE. Keeping both of them babyface when it was all over was interesting as well, leading up to Brock Lesnar returning and giving Cena an F5 to close the show. To be completely real, I don't know what direction the farewell tour is heading in. Having Cena revert back to his gritty never say die version of his psyche just to lose the belt, although it was hard fought, and for Brock to toss him around doesn't seem very apropos. Cena has only beaten Lesnar once in their 4 encounters. Maybe Lesnar is back to close the chapter with Cena being able to finally conquer him for good. Guess we'll find out sooner or later. To point out as well, no, I don't have a need or want to see Brock on my screen, but it's been done. There's nothing we can do about it now. My closing thoughts. There were moments of the show I enjoyed. Aside from a few decisions, I think everything had a purpose. I sound like a broken record, but I really hope some shuffling is done. While SmackDown has the better tag team division, unless they want the show to have contrasting roster builds, the women are going to need to be shuffled around, call-ups included. Same for the mid-card scene, because I could not tell you who I think should challenge Dominic or Solo next off the top of my head. What were your thoughts about SummerSlam? Did you like it? Hate it? Comment down below. Popping up on the screen are my last 2 videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next.